and set up our hammock late night. I feel like a fugitive right now. Hey! Hey!
Out in the wild, the real danger isn't always what you can see. It's what's already close to you. A stranger silently entering your camp in the middle of the night. A hidden figure watching from the trees with an axe, and something powerful enough to knock down a living tree without warning. When the forest stops feeling empty, do you stay and face it, or leave before it's too late? Mary, the creator behind the YouTube channel. Maximus Minibus has built a dedicated following by sharing her genuine outdoor lifestyle. Her videos thoughtfully combined daily responsibilities, passion-driven activities, and a deep appreciation for the quiet simplicity of campground life. On the evening of September 10th, 2025, what began as a simple attempt to be productive, finally setting up a long-delayed trail camera, quickly shifted into something far more disturbing. Known for putting things off, Mary had delayed installing her solar-powered trail camera for over a year, waiting for the right SD card, the right moment, and the motivation to complete the task.
I've had this camera for at least a year, maybe more, maybe even 2 years. It's a trail cam with a little solar panel on the top, and it has its own power and everything, so I could put it anywhere. Didn't have to worry about whether I have power there. Inside this little door, it has battery backup. You're supposed to put batteries in it, which I haven't done yet. Surprise, surprise. But anyway, the batteries are like C batteries oh no, actually, you know what? It's 4 AA's. But the reason I haven't set it up is because it takes an SD card. And I have SD cards, but they're SD card. So I've had it on my list on and off forever to buy a card for this thing. And finally, tonight, I can set this up. Maybe the hammock is next. I'm going to put the camera on this little footstool that I always put in front of my tent when I close it up for the night. It's basically just shooting. Probably not the most exciting place to put the camera. I don't even know if it's set up right, so I'm just going to leave it here.
After a visit to Walmart, she finally had everything she needed. She placed the camera on a small stool near her tent, directing it toward her bus and the nearby area. She expected it would capture nothing more than raccoons passing through, or deer wandering by. The next morning, something immediately felt off. The tent had been unzipped in a way she would never have left it open from the top down, as if someone had deliberately gone inside. At first, she brushed it off. Then, she remembered the camera. What it captured was not wildlife or a fellow camper, but something far more unusual.
In the first part, it shot at like 8:30, and it just got like some campers walking to the restroom, but then nothing until 2:30. Around, like maybe either somebody drove in and they're turning around right now. I don't think it's a camper, but so the headlights come this way, and then it's a pickup truck that goes by. I don't recognize it. It's not a vehicle I recognize. Let's start with that. But right after it goes by, keep your eye on this over here. You see him? He's got glasses on that are shining. He's got on a, and here he comes. He walks across. See, he's got a trash bag, it looks like. And I thought at first he had a backpack on, but you'll see in a minute it's not a backpack. And then it missed the first part of him, but then he comes back with a flashlight. I have a table over here with a bunch of stuff on it. He's coming around, probably checking out what's on that table. Now he's shining the flashlight in through the mesh of the tent, trying to see what's inside the tent. But he leaves again. He walks by, and he's going like probably over to the golf cart, because the golf cart's parked in front of the bus. And then he goes around. I think he must probably go around the bus and come back again, because there he goes, coming back around for another chance. And this time, he's not going to just look inside the tent. This time, give him a second. There he goes, coming right to the tent. And look at this. He moves the camera. He moves the camera. I guess he doesn't know it's a camera, so that he can unzip the tent and get inside. Inside the tent, for all you can hear him plunking around, moving things, stuff like that. And then the movement stops, so the camera kind of stops recording.
At 2:30 a.m., an unknown pickup truck passed by. Shortly after, a figure emerged from the darkness. A man wearing a baseball cap and glasses with what looked like a trash bag draped over his shoulders moved cautiously around the campsite. He shined a flashlight into the tent, searched through her belongings, and even adjusted the camera to make access easier. For several minutes, he stayed inside looking around.
I've never seen any sign that anyone has done this before. But the fact is, when I'm in that bus, I don't see or hear anything. I put my curtains up, that's it, for my stuff. Ugh, it creeps me out. So I've been looking around trying to figure out what he took, but I can't really find anything. I mean, the most obvious thing would have been this tablet. I mean, I don't leave my laptop in here, so tablet would have been the next best thing. Maybe he's an electronic snob, I don't know. But I do have a toolbox in here, and it's got a lot of small tools, you know, things that he could have taken either to use or to sell, things with some value, and he didn't take those either, so I don't know. So I don't really even know why he was here. I told my boss about it, and she asked me to post a...
When he finally left, he took only a few items: hand sanitizer, rubbing alcohol, and toilet paper. Basic necessities, nothing of real value. It suggested this was not a typical thief, but possibly someone living in the woods, taking only what was needed to survive. She was left shaken by the experience. In the end, nothing significant was taken. Maybe it was just someone desperate passing through. Or maybe it shows how fragile the sense of safety can be in isolated places. If you had discovered this footage the next morning, would you feel comfortable staying another night? The video was uploaded on August 21st, 2025. Mo Sargi, the adventure-driven creator behind his self-titled channel, is known for constantly pushing the limits of exploration and extreme challenges. From off-grid RV living to demanding survival situations, Mo and his wife, Shadia, often place themselves in environments that are both exciting and sometimes unsettling. However, one particular camping trip took a turn neither of them expected, turning a simple challenge into a real test of courage.
So basically the challenge is I have had a mysterious person place items that we need to survive with the
Anchor Solix C1000 Generation 2 portable power station.
We each get 10 minutes to find each item.
Oh my God.
And if you don't, then you're a loser. All right, guys, we have acquired the drone, got some epic drone shots. Hopefully you guys like them. We also have acquired my toothbrush. We've also acquired a flashlight, which is gonna come in handy because it's starting to get dark right now. We're gonna go and search for the Starlink. That's gonna be the next item, and I have to find that myself. No way. Seriously?
11, 10, 9, 8.
Oh, it's in here.
5, 4, 3.
I got it.
Sorry, it's time.
No, but that's not enough time.
Oh, you heard the timer.
Oh
You
my
lost.
God.
You lost this round. But you
I lost-
found the object. Well, that's all that matters.
No, you have to plug it in before the 10 minutes is up.
At least we can still use it, though.
Whatever, let's go plug in the Starlink and see if we can get some communications. Shadia, what are we gonna do in the morning?
So in the morning, because now it's nighttime and we need to go to sleep, we need to have coffee in the morning.
And we're gonna make some eggs and some sausages.
Now?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
Tomorrow. On their second night at the campsite, a sudden loud bang shattered the silence. Something had struck the RV with force. Startled, they grabbed a flashlight and stepped outside.
Keeping it simple and healthy this morning, we got some beef Italian sausages and we got some eggs, because obviously eggs are a must. All right, let's throw them on. Alrighty, about to have some yummy. I don't think she trusts my cooking, but look at it. This looks so good. Some beef sausages and some yummy eggs, scrambled eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and try one of these. These are spicy, by the way. Oh my God. Yeah, Shadia usually doesn't eat nothing that I make. I don't know why. I make good food.
Good.
Really? Okay. Oh, by the way, today is me and Shadia's 7-year anniversary. We've been married 7 years today. Like that's insane. And we get to do a video. We get to be camping for that.
We decided to camp one more night at this forest. Little did we know we would encounter the most terrifying thing ever.
What the
What was that?
I don't know, it was loud. Something like smashed against the car or the RV.
From the front.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. Camping, no kids. It's been great, but me and Shadia basically slept in all day in the RV. We just had this loud bang. That's why I got this, because I'm kind of worried. I don't know what the fuck that was. There's nothing there. Let me get a flashlight. Okay, come on. Something like smashed against the RV. Oh, what the f?
Oh, what is that?
What the f?
Oh, what is that?
Somebody threw something at the RV. Is that a tomato?
Why would they hit our RV?
What the f? It's a rotten tomato.
Ew.
What the f is going on here?
only to find a rotten tomato smashed against the vehicle. The randomness of it left them uneasy, especially since no people or vehicles were visible nearby. After failing to find anyone, they returned inside and began monitoring the area using their security camera. Not long after, something even more disturbing appeared.
You okay? Been sitting there watching that damn camera all night.
Freaking out because it's red too, so it's even more creepy. It's like blood.
Anyone is back there? I don't know. We can see out front.
We did hear some noises. I'm scared because the lights are off in the front, and I'm scared.
Okay, I'll turn on the lights just to make you feel better.
I don't want to.
Hold on a second. At least we can see if anybody's out in the front.
That's terrifying.
Someone's there. Someone's actually there.
No, I see something.
Yeah, look, what the fuck?
What is that?
I think it's a deer. No, that's not a person. That's an animal.
What is?
Hold on a sec.
No.
Wait.
There's someone there.
Oh.
There's someone there.
I know.
Just lock the door?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I heard something. I seen something moving back there. It's walking.
Oh my God, Mo, what is that?
I don't know.
Is that a person?
Maybe it's a bear.
What if it's the person that threw whatever it is on the windshield?
What is that, dude?
There's voices here, or
I just see something like above the trees. You know what I mean? What is that? Yeah, there it is. Oh
my God.
What the f? Take the camera. Take the camera. Take the camera.
Where are you going?
Where's my baseball bat? Where's my baseball bat?
Where are you going? Where are you going?
Come here. Come with me. Hello? Bro, that was the same guy. He threw a fucking tomato again.
Where?
He threw a tomato at my camera. Look, my camera's dented.
Oh my God.
He messed up my camera. Look. There's tomato juice all over here. Wait. There's somebody moving back there. There's somebody moving.
Well, I'm not going in there.
Oh, he's got a dog. Get in. Quick, get in. You get in first. Get in first. Either that was a dog or a fucking coyote.
Well, now you know, like, never to come here.
But we're like, you guys saw the drone footage from earlier. We're literally in the middle of nowhere, and there's somebody stalking us out here right now.
Literally, like. Oh my God. No, don't open. My heart is hurting. My heart is actually hurting.
Can you come out with a flashlight?
Hell no.
No, I need to see. Just come out here with a flashlight. Get out here with a flashlight.
Oh.
I can't see a thing. Bring the flashlight over here. I know you're scared, but we've got a baseball bat. Bro, this is fucking terrifying. Hold on, let's go over here. What if you went... Wait, shine the light down this way? There's a trail. I didn't even realize there was a freaking trail here.
A figure showed up in the distance. At first, it did not clearly resemble a person, but continued observation revealed someone hidden among the trees watching them. The sense of being observed became very real. Armed with a flashlight and a baseball bat, Mo went outside to investigate. He found his camera dented with more rotten tomatoes scattered across the RV. Feeling exposed, they quickly went back inside. Moments later, loud knocking hit the sides of the RV, forcing them outside again. As they moved deeper into the darkness, they noticed a trail they had not seen before.
Listen, just swing, okay? Watch your step. Come on. Hello?
No.
What?
Please. I'm scared.
Oh.
No. Oh my God.
What the f, man? He's got an axe. Yo, why are you throwing shit at my fucking RV? No, you get the fuck out of here, dude. No. Why are you throwing shit at my RV? No, go. He's coming at us with an axe. Go. Run. Go. Just follow the light. I'll blind him with my flashlight.
He's coming.
No, he's not. He's just standing there. He thinks he's tough with a freaking axe. You get in.
No,
you get in the RV. Get in the RV right now. He's come. Just go.
Oh God.
Believing it might be connected to whoever was responsible, Mo decided to follow it. That decision led to a terrifying encounter. They came face to face with a man holding an axe.
No, I have to. I'm not gonna let someone scare me off. I'm a fucking sergeant.
Okay, but I don't feel good about this.
Okay, keep the baseball bat with you, okay? Just stay here. Yeah, lock the door. Just lock the door. Lock the door. I'm gonna go check it out.
Can you please, like, not go anywhere far?
Okay, I'm just gonna go look. I think this guy's just trying to scare us off. Like he must be camping out here. He's probably just fucking around. I'm pretty. Oh, what the hell? The fuck? He left his axe here. Hey, come on out. I know you're hiding here with your. Come on out. I know you're hiding here. Yeah, it does sound like a. Sounds like a diesel truck just turned on and just left. What the f? All right, I should get back. Shadia's probably scared. Nah, bro. He took the axe. No way. Oh, no. No. Shit.
It was immediately clear this was not a harmless prank. They barely made it back to the RV. Despite warnings to stay inside, Mo went out again, driven by frustration and the need for answers. On the trail, he found the axe abandoned and called out into the darkness. But when he returned to the RV, the axe was gone. This confirmed the person had been nearby the entire time and had taken it back. Recognizing the ongoing danger, they chose to leave the campsite rather than risk another encounter. When someone hides in the dark and watches from a distance, it completely changes your sense of safety. If this happened to you, would you stay and investigate or leave the moment something felt wrong? Gary Reed's Unfrequented World is a YouTube channel that at first glance appears to feature simple outdoor vlogs and nature-focused content. Gary often goes on photography hikes and metal detecting outings, and he regularly spends time exploring his large property in the wilderness of northern Ontario. He is frequently joined by his family, but the normally peaceful setting of his unfrequented world has been disrupted by something unsettling, a screaming, unidentified presence somewhere deep within the forest. Gary was born in the small town of Redbridge, Ontario, and has spent most of his life surrounded by woodland. With decades of first-hand experience exploring the terrain, he also holds a degree in environmental science and has a solid understanding of the ecosystems around him. Because of that background, when he states that something in those woods cannot be explained, the claim tends to carry weight. He describes the sound as a long, stretched-out wail that gradually builds into a rising roar. At times, the noise seemed to travel across the entire campsite, shifting from one side to another before suddenly going quiet. On April 30th, 2020, he heard the sound again.
That sucks. Can you hear screaming?
The scream sounded almost human, but not entirely, with distorted and unnatural tones.
This thing is still going on over here.
With a camera in hand, Gary carefully moved toward the direction where the sound appeared to originate. While examining the area, he noticed a strange break in one tree and several others that had been pushed over in the same direction, as if something had forced its way through the forest. Nearby, there was a tightly twisted cluster of branches bent in a way that suggested significant strength.
There's one there.
As he continued deeper into the woods, more signs of damage appeared, as though something large and heavy had passed through the area. Even more concerning were the large tracks he discovered. He believed the prints may have been left by something walking upright. The marks did not resemble normal boot prints.
Almost see the toes. 13¼ inches.
After measuring them, he found they were much larger than an average human footprint. Still, there could be a reasonable explanation. Rainfall from the previous day may have affected the snow, making an ordinary track appear larger than it actually was. Gary set up trail cameras throughout the forest. Footage captured on March 3rd later became some of the most discussed evidence. On March the 7th, he and a neighbor heard another sharp scream, this time resembling the cry of a child. Gary stepped outside into the pitch-black forest and stood alone in the darkness.
Turn the dish back on. I can hear whistling.
In one clip, a pair of glowing eyes can be seen behind him, though it may simply be light reflecting from his glasses into the camera lens. When they returned to the same location the following day, his dog became visibly uneasy and refused to move any farther. Along the trail, signs of destruction were easy to spot. Bent and broken trees lined the path. Some trunks appeared to have been grabbed and pulled downward with force. In another instance, a branch seemed to have been twisted off and placed back into position.
That's about 8 feet. And it's got a good twist to it.
Even though the tree itself appeared healthy. Elsewhere, a healthy green tree had been split cleanly in half.
You can see the bark, and you can actually see lines. Well, those are tooth marks.
While lightning could potentially explain that type of damage, similar destruction appeared too frequently to ignore. Whatever could break trees and produce those kinds of screams would pose a serious risk to anyone moving through those woods. All of these events have taken place within just the past few months. When patterns like this continue, the mystery remains. If a scream like that echoed through the woods near your camp at night, would you stay or quietly leave the area? Hidden Camping with Zeb Chandler is a YouTube channel focused on stealth camping, quiet survival outings, and low-profile overnight trips in remote areas. In a video uploaded on October 18, 2025, Zeb began a solo journey to a small island located deep within a large lake. To reach the island, he borrowed a friend's kayak and launched from a public boat ramp. He packed lightly for the trip and chose to sleep in a hammock rather than on the ground, concerned that the island might have snakes or other wildlife moving through the brush at night. After arriving, he quickly hid the kayak in nearby bushes and started setting up camp as quietly as possible, while light rain began to fall. By the time night fully settled in, the atmosphere had completely shifted. The rain eased into a light drizzle, and the natural sounds of the wilderness became more noticeable. At times, the noises resembled calls from geese and other water birds, but occasionally certain sounds seemed strangely human, almost as if distant words were forming.
They make a lot of geese and goose noises, but occasionally they'll make like a human-sounding noise. Sounds like they say a word or something. We're still waiting a little longer under our shelter here. We're gonna wait till later to cook our dinner and then set up our hammock late night. I feel like a fugitive right now. It was okay, but now that it's getting dark, it's getting serious.
Using night vision, he could see reflections from animal eyes scattered across the grass and along the shoreline. There was far more wildlife around the island than he had expected. The constant movement created a growing sense that he was being watched from every direction. Later that night, while lying in his hammock trying to sleep, he suddenly heard something that immediately drew his attention.
So there's a lot of crazy going on out here.
By the time I finished dinner, it was about 10 p.m. So only with the night vision goggles could I see all of these animals and sets of eyes all around me that were making these creepy noises. Right now you get an idea of how close they are, especially right now, right there. There's 2 or 3 that just, it's hard to describe. They're hissing. It's eerie. I don't know how well I'm going to sleep if she keeps hissing at me.
And the truth is, these guys are very territorial, very aggressive, and dangerous, especially during their breeding and nesting season, which I was clearly interrupting by being an unwanted guest on their island.
A heavy branch snapped somewhere close to the campsite. The sound was much louder than the usual forest noise he had been hearing all evening, and whatever caused it seemed large enough to be moving right near his gear. He stayed still and listened closely, unsure whether the disturbance came from an animal or something else. The uncertainty kept him awake for most of the night. Just as the tension started to fade, something else caught his attention. That moment was enough to make him leave the island almost immediately.
Oh my God, what is that in the water? It's a set of eyes. I am not kidding. There's something over there at the water's edge. Something right there staring at me in the water or at the edge of the water as I leave.
Rather than investigating further, he chose to paddle away, realizing that even a quiet and beautiful place can quickly become deeply unsettling. If something large moved near your camp in the dark, would you stay to find out what it was? On May 7th, 2017, a surprisingly disturbing piece of footage was uploaded to YouTube. In the video, the person recording is riding through the Alberta foothills, a scenic forested area, during what appears to be a calm horseback ride. At first, everything seems normal, but without warning, something unexpected happens.
It is too. That's the guy that's always down in the bog. Try and see if he's got equipment under there. Hey, buddy.
Or maybe he was roped.
He seems.
He's kind of beat up.
Yeah, he is beat up.
I think he's got junk.
Is he? Oh, Patrick.
Maybe not.
He's got no mark on his nose, does he? But it's the same horse.
It's just maybe the way the hair lays.
Yeah.
Might be sick.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, little man.
Hey.
Careful, that guy will put his gun on you.
Yeah.
Sorry. He's pretty.
Hey. Where you going, buddy? Good boy. Good boy. Hey, good boy. What are you doing, buddy?
A wild male horse suddenly runs toward them, closing the distance to about 30 feet from the group. Initially, the moment appears harmless. The horse seems curious watching the group and their movements. However, when the riders begin to move away, the situation starts to shift.
Oh, mark another pile.
That's his territory.
Yeah.
Start chasing. Hey, don't you dare start.
Hey, where you go? Yeah. Hey. Okay.
No girl.
Yeah.
Last thing we need is a fight.
Come on, there you go. Hey!
Come, Lindo.
Okay.
Go.
This encounter with the dogs is about to get way too close. If you folks are riding up there, just watch your dogs if you run into this fella.
Go. Go.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Lindo.
Without any warning, the horse begins thrashing aggressively before charging directly toward the two dogs. What follows becomes even more unsettling. The horse continues to follow them along the trail for more than 2 miles, refusing to back off. Eventually, it finally leaves them alone. But the situation came dangerously close to turning into something far more serious. Because when dealing with an animal that large and unpredictable, things can escalate very quickly. Wild animals often act in ways that are hard to anticipate, especially when they feel their territory has been disturbed. If a horse that size started following you down a remote trail, would you know when it was just curiosity or when it had become a real threat? The disturbing nighttime incident comes from Adam in the Wild, a YouTube channel based in the United Kingdom where Adam documents real, unscripted outdoor experiences. His content typically focuses on stealth camping, solo overnight stays, and remaining in locations that are socially or practically challenging, combining light humor with genuine tension rather than staged scares. The footage was recorded on July 20th, 2023 in England, within a wooded area just off the A64 near the Red Bus Cafe lay-by.
I don't know what's going on here. I'm literally more than waist height in bushes. Oh, I'm falling over it a lot. This isn't the spot I found before, but I think there's a flat spot in there. There is clear paths, but I just can't see them in dark, man. Yeah, there's flat spots here. Oh, that'll do. Right, the road's just through there.
After parking his car by the roadside, Adam heads into the forest in near total darkness. He has difficulty following faint paths, forcing his way through dense vegetation and uneven ground. Visibility is extremely poor, and the area shows clear signs of regular foot traffic, making the forest feel more active and less remote than he originally expected.
At first I thought it was an owl. I think it's either foxes shagging or human, and she's having a great time. This is mental, this.
While trying to set up his tent, Adam begins hearing nearby sounds he cannot clearly identify. He pauses to listen, unsure whether the noises are coming from animals or people, especially given how close the location is to the road. This uncertainty quickly increases his anxiety as the woodland no longer feels empty.
I've got to turn the flash off because we've got some doggers. We've got some doggers. Look. Fuck it. Oh my God. We've got some doggers. There's a car here. Right. Let's go see if we can find them in action. Right. There's a car here. There's only one reason why there's a car here. And that's because they're up to something.
Later that night, Adam steps outside his tent to check the surroundings and notices a vehicle parked at the lay-by. He recognizes that there are very few reasons for a car to arrive at that time, and the possibility that others may be using the same area causes him to move more cautiously through the trees.
They're in the same woods as me, man. Oh, that's quite a scary thought. This is mental. We're celebrating finding some doggers. The stealth camp worry inside me is saying they are in the same woods as me, but I just can't find them. Might be a bit awkward if I found them.
He searches briefly, but does not find anyone, which only adds to the unease. The thought that unseen individuals could be nearby makes the situation feel uncomfortable and potentially unsafe, prompting him to return to his campsite.
I can only describe as something or someone knocking around my tent. Been on this channel for 3 years, you know how honest I am. I'm not just going to say to you, oh, it was definitely a person, because it could have been a fox or a badger or a whatever. I saw a dead skunk on the road, I think, but then I don't know if it was just in my head, but I heard like someone was talking. Could have been that car, that was.
Around 2 a.m, Adam wakes to the sound of movement close to his tent. He describes it as something shifting or hitting nearby, though he cannot determine whether it was caused by an animal, a person, or something else entirely. He also believes he may have heard voices but remains uncertain. Sleep becomes difficult, and the rest of the night passes with very little rest. By early morning, Adam quickly packs his gear and leaves the area, heading straight to work. He later reflects that the experience was uncomfortable and mentally draining, especially knowing that other people had been in the woods while he was asleep. Although the stealth camping attempt itself was technically successful, the combination of darkness, nearby strangers, unexplained sounds during the night, and fatigue leaves him questioning whether continuing to camp in places like this is worth it. Nothing directly dangerous ever appears, but the mix of limited visibility and the presence of unseen individuals nearby is what makes the situation feel unsettling. If you realized that others were moving around your campsite without being seen, would you stay and endure it or leave before things escalated? The next clip in the night's footage comes from Camping with Sasquatch, a United States-based outdoor and cryptid-focused channel that follows solo and small group camping trips in remote forest areas. The channel is known for documenting unusual sounds, damaged trees, and strange woodland structures often linked to Sasquatch lore. The footage is dated March 5th, 2025, and takes place in Sam Houston National Forest in East Texas, United States. The narrator explains that his friend Brandon is camping nearby, and the two meet to talk about recent reports of Sasquatch sightings in the region. They set out together on a nighttime walk along a gated Forest Service road. Brandon lets out a loud howl in an attempt to trigger a response from the surrounding forest. The woods remain completely still with no wind or background noise, creating a tense and watchful environment.
Tree got pushed over. Just right up this way, probably, I don't know how far. It wasn't really far. But it was
200 yards maybe?
Yeah, maybe 150 yards.
Only minutes after the howl, a living tree, roughly 100 to 150 yards away, is suddenly forced to the ground. Loud cracking and crashing sounds echo through the forest, despite the complete lack of wind or any visible cause. The moment is sudden and deeply unsettling. After returning to camp, another sound nearly identical to the first is heard later on.
Have you ever heard that before? No.
That isn't the end of it. A while after returning to camp, we heard another very similar sound.
The following day, under clear and sunny conditions, Brandon hears a sharp cracking noise again, followed by barred owl calls. These sounds come from different areas of the forest, suggesting that the activity is not limited to nighttime.
It's kind of interesting that a broken tree, probably 8 feet up the hike, going through a lot of baby trees here, lots of arches. It's pretty cool. If you can see that through there, that's a bit odd. Let's see if we can have a closer look at that, like an arch there. Huh. It's like a little dome again. Wow. Got it.
While exploring the nearby surroundings, the narrator points out unusual tree formations, including arch-like shapes, dome structures, and small shelter-like arrangements formed by bent or fallen trees. These formations stand out from the rest of the forest, creating an unnatural appearance and suggesting possible places where something could remain hidden. Looking back on the experience, the narrator considers how the sudden falling tree, the unexplained noises, and the daytime cracking all highlight how unpredictable the forest can be. Combined with the unusual tree formations, the events leave both men with more questions than answers. If you came across something like this deep in a remote forest, would you try to investigate further, or would you leave and not look back?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.